How we doing? Hi. I know I'll be so extra when I jump on camera. So this is gonna be a real quick video because this has been on my mind for a few days now. Where are we getting this, what I call this open book theory? Let me tell you what the open book theory is. This mental conception, I ain't gonna lie, I've been interested in the etymology of words. So a lot of times, even though I'll know the English definition of a term, I've been interested in learning more about where they originated, which a lot of times what we define it as now is pretty much the same thing. But the etymology of theory is like this mental conception, something we conceive, something that we view it in a certain way. So, where are we getting this theory with being an open book, just bearing it all out? Oh, I don't have no secrets. I don't have nothing to hide. I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Anything you want. You know what? You didn't even ask, but I'm going to just bear it all flat. Where do we get that from? Now, a lot of people, in which I've heard people say as well, say that they have this conception because they've never really had people to accept them for who they are, or to listen to them, or to relate to them, and where they can share things that are more near and dear to them. Maybe those secrets. Most people have had a best friend or people they were close to and things like that, where they can go and they can share certain things that they wouldn't share with other people, or people that they trust, or people that they know will hold their information. So why now do we feel like, oh yeah, I'm just open, I don't have anything to hide? I don't think it's necessarily about having anything to hide, but I feel like people who say that they're like open books, they're not private about anything, automatically I just think you don't have any boundaries. That's not funny. I'm not laughing at that, I swear. Just, I'm a little dramatic. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little dramatic. But it's real. I've always kind of thought that. Like, people are like, I'm an open book. I just kind of always was like, I'm open about everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very spiritual, right? So we like to say that there's a spiritual community. I wouldn't say I'm part of a spiritual community of sorts, unless it's one that I build for myself, or that I come across that, we can build, and we can be spiritual, and we can share our spiritual insights and secrets, if you will. I don't think that is so much about being secretive, but I don't think everything is for everybody. And I'm noticing that, there are some people in this spiritual community, or that talk about things spiritually related, feel like, oh, well, if you got secrets, there's nothing really ultimately to hide. Sure, when we're talking about metaphysics, and we're talking about even like physics and the actual spiritual world, yeah, I mean, and I can't even say that. I was going to say there's not, even in that sense, there's not really anything to hide. But you have to think about like back in ancient times with like ancient texts, let's say. A lot of that stuff was written in code. Even your Bible, baby, that stuff was written in code because it wasn't for everybody. Yes, anybody could go in, they could read it, they could open that book, but everybody wasn't going to understand the language or the terminology or what was being said. You know why? Because people would abuse it and misuse it. That information, they was to outright say that this is really what is being said here, a lot of that stuff would be used for wrong intentions. So a lot of that stuff was coded. So with that, if even back in those times, nothing was necessarily, yeah, you could physically go and open that book, but it wasn't going to be for everybody. You know, like that whole cup of tea, you're not everybody's cup of tea. Yeah, you're accessible to an extent to everybody. Anybody can walk past you and see you, see that you're a body, see that you're a human, see that you got black skin, white skin, brown skin, purple skin. In that sense, you know, you're open to the world. Everybody can see you, but everybody is not supposed to know your code. You're not supposed to give the code. Are y'all out here is putting your social security online and your address online, all that? Are y'all open book like that, where you just putting all of it, laying it all bare because there's nothing to hide? I don't have anything to hide. Here's my social security number. Here's my license plate number. Here's this, and that. Because everything is open. I'm an open book. Again, like, you gotta have some boundaries. It just is what it is. Everybody don't need to have 100% access. Make them work for it at least. What I like to find is that, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it's in my nature, and I just grew up that way too. It's in my nature to be kind of more private and reserved. So, you know, while I get on here and I make videos and I post them online and stuff, it's really only gonna be a few people who can, like, really tell you about me. Now, I've made mistakes in the past, I've done things in the past, and they may show up. But I've also done the work to be like, hey, I did it. And if it come back up, if it's laid bare in that sense, I can own up to it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not just going to sit and just lay it all out. If anything, you're still going to work for it. You're still going to work for it. Or it's going to come up if it need to come up. But if not, I'm just not going to hand it to you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think anybody should do that. If it's truly in your nature, then it is what it is. But don't go for that, especially if it's not natural for you. Don't be that open book. Don't be that open book. Make people work for it. Make people really get close to the essence of who you are, at least. See if y'all actually are a match on the same or somewhat of a same vibration, energy, to be able to naturally be open. That's like a flower. A flower is going to naturally open. You peep the flowers in the background. A flower is going to naturally open in its own time, in its natural rhythm. So, excuse me, I feel like that's the same that goes for connecting with others and opening yourself. Vulnerability is strength. I will say that. I'm not saying never be vulnerable and never open up, but it's just really going to be based off your own intuition. Really listen to it. Don't just be giving everybody everything. You know, listen to yourself. I made a video about creativity and listening to your body. It's the same thing with connecting and opening up. Okay, so I'm going to keep it short here. A friend of mine said I got to keep my videos a little shorter, maybe to help with people watching them to the end. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not going to rant and rave, but thank you for watching. If you did make it to the end, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. If you're not going to subscribe, hit your girl with a view, a like, something, you know? All right, see you.